first program. Okay, we'll write our first program in a Eclipse. Okay, first we'll download the JDK, JRE. Okay, and then we'll download the Eclipse, and then we'll start with the theory of JVM, JRE, JDK, and then we'll start with our first Hello World program, and then we'll move ahead. Okay, so if you know Java, so you have to be keep patience for a 1 or 2 class. If you don't know the Java, then you will there is no problem. We will start with very basic. I'll assume in a first class you don't know anything. Okay, if you know, please keep up patience. Okay, once this basic things will be done, I'll go ahead with the variables. Okay, so why variable used in Java? Just means if you want to store any particular things, like if you are writing a program to add a two numbers. Okay, so you want to add a two numbers 10 plus 2. So where you will keep that particular number inside the variables. Okay, so that is why variable used in Java. Okay, if you go in a detail of variables, so there are particular three types of variables in Java: local, instance, and static. Okay. Again, what are the local variable? What property it contains? What are the instance variable? What are the static variable? We will go in a detail once we'll go into this particular topic. Okay. Once variable will be over, we'll move ahead with the data type. So what is data types? What data types are the things means which defines what types of value variable can store. वेरिएबल में किस टाइप की वैल्यू आएगी, ठीक है. आप चाहते हो नंबर टाइप का वैल्यू तो आप वहां पे इंट दोगे. ओके, इफ यू वांट स्ट्रिंग टाइप योर नेम, यू वांट टू पुट योर नेम, you can give the string. Okay, you want to give a point wala value, you can give the float. So that will be defined by your data type. Which type of value variable can store will be defined by data type. Okay, again if we'll go into the data types again have a two category. First is primitive data types, second is your non-primitive data type. Again primitive data type: boolean, byte, char, short, int, long, float, double. Okay, again if we'll go into the non-primitive data type, they are array, classes, and interfaces. Okay, so again once we will cover primitive data types. When we'll go ahead, you will gradually know what is array, class, interface. Means when you write a program, you have to create the class itself. Without it, you will not be able to create any particular program. So it will cover automatically. Okay, once that will be over, we'll move ahead with the conditional statement and loops. What are the conditional statement? Like if and else. You want to means if you will take a simple example, you want to know the number is prime, number is even or odd. So you can give the if and else condition. Okay, if you want to run particular program number of times, means let's take a simple example. You want to print number 1 to 100. So first way is system.out.println 1, system.println 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to write the 100 times. Okay, for 100 it's okay, but if you will go, if I'll say write a program from 1 to 1000, then what will do? So this is not a practical way to implement system.out.println 1000 times or next time. Okay, so this time you can use for loop. Okay, simply for loop have a syntax. You can run your program number of times. Okay, so that we will cover. Once that will be covered, we will cover the for each loop. Means if you have a particular collection, particular array, you want to get each value of particular collection. How can you get? You can get by for each loop. So once that will be done, we'll move ahead with the our while loop and do while. If it means why while loop and do while loop used in Java, means if you have a known count, means you have to print the things 1000 times, you can go with the for loop. But the things are not known to you, means that condition can occur. Means simply let's take an example of file. Inside a file there can be a number of lines. Sometimes it can be a two lines, sometimes it can be a 200 lines. Okay, but you want to page each data of particular file. Okay, so that time count is not known to you. That time you can go with the particular while. When that particular line will be end, you should stop. That time you should go with the while loop and do while. Again, while loop and do while used for the same type, but again a slight difference inside the while loop and do while loop that we will know once we cover this things in a detail. Okay. Once that will be covered, we'll move ahead with the string class and access modifier. So what is a string class? Again, string. When I say string, string is a class in Java, not a data type. Okay, if you want to store string type of value, means some quotes type value, your name, yeah, this type of value, my name is Rajkumar. This type of value you have to be stored in a string. Okay, but string is a class and it is a immutable. Okay, what immutable means, okay, and what are the different types of method inside the string class, that we will cover again string class. Okay, and what are the access modifier? Access modifier defines the scope of members of particular class. Means inside the class there can be a variable, there can be a method, there can be a constructor, and that particular method, constructor, variable will be visible to which class or which method, that will be specified by access modifier. There are four type of access modifier: public, private, protected, and default. Okay, so what exactly they are, we'll cover in our access modifier topic. Okay, once that will be means done, we'll move ahead with the OOPS concept. So till now, you guys have any particular doubt? Can I go ahead? Okay. So once that basic things will done, we'll move ahead with the OOPS concept. So what are the OOPS concept in Java? These are the if you know abstraction, polymorphism, inheritance, and encapsulation. So what is abstraction? What is abstraction? You guys know?
Hiding certain details,
Hiding the certain details and showing the required functionality to end user. Let's take a simple example of abstraction, your ATM machine. You know how to withdraw machine, you know how to check your particular balance, but you don't know what exactly programming language or what exactly logic written behind that. Means once you withdraw your particular amount, how amount will be calculated, okay, and how interest rate will be calculated, what penalty will be levied to you, that is not don't known to you. So you are showing particular required details to end user, but hiding the some implementation detail. That is your abstraction. Okay, how we can achieve the concept of abstraction in Java? Through two ways. First is your abstract class. Second is your interface. When I say abstract class, through abstract class we can achieve the 100% abstraction. Sorry, 0 to 100% abstraction. What is the mean of 0 to 100% abstraction? First is hiding the details. Okay. When I'm saying 0 to 100% abstraction means you are hiding some details, you are showing some details. When I am saying 100% abstraction, I'm saying you are hiding each and every details. Okay. So when I say through abstraction we can achieve 0 to 100% abstraction. So inside the abstract class there are the ways through which you can hide something, you can show something. Okay, so that we will cover in our abstract class topic. Okay, once that will be covered, we will cover interface. Okay, what is it, interface? Interface is another way to achieve the abstraction. Through interface, we can achieve the 0 to 100% abstraction. Okay, sorry, 100% abstraction. 100% abstraction means all and each detail of that particular interface will be hide. Means only method name will be there, not a implementation details. Okay, we'll go with this two topic, abstract class and interface, well in detail because this is the hot topic for the interview. Okay, we'll go with the practical implementation. Okay, once abstraction will be done, we'll cover the polymorphism. What is polymorphism? Polymorphism, if you'll go in particular name, its name that defines. Poly means many, morphism means form. Many form. If you can do one things in a different ways, or if you can do one things in a different ways, that is called polymorphism. How we can achieve the concept of polymorphism in Java? Method overloading.
Declare as private. Declare as private.
No. That is
yeah, method overloading, method overriding.
Yes, method overloading and method overriding is the way to achieve the concept of polymorphism in Java.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is method overloading? Same name but different parameter. Simple example
Yeah.
is your calculator. Sometimes you add two numbers, sometimes you add three numbers, sometimes you add point wala number, sometimes you add three number, four number. Okay, never your calculator fails. So behind that there is a method with the name same head but different parameter or different types of parameters. Okay, so that is the basic example of your method overloading, or you can say compile time polymorphism. We'll go in detail once we cover the topic of polymorphism. Second way is method overriding. What is method overriding?
Classes are different and methods are same.
Method with the same name, with the same
And same
parameter,
return.
same
Same
parameter
parameter.
in a child class. Okay, class will be different, but in a child class with a specific implementation. What does the mean of a specific implementation? Let's take a simplest example. Means if you are means simple. If you go through the Policy Bazaar website, you can compare the different rate of interest of different banks. Okay, so how actually behind the scene things are happening? Means in a SBI inheriting the Reserve Bank of India, and Reserve Bank of India have just defined means let's take an example 4% of rate of interest. But SBI are modifying that particular thing as per their need. Now they are providing with the 5%. ICICI Bank are providing with the 6% ROI. SDFC are providing rate of interest with 8%. Okay, so they are providing the specific implementation. Name are same, ROI, rate of interest, but they are providing the specific implementation. Okay, so we'll cover this topic as well, method overriding well in detail. Well, once we'll cover the topic of polymorphism. Once polymorphism will be covered, we'll go ahead with the inheritance. So what is inheritance? Why we use the inheritance in Java? Simple. If you want to reuse the things, you can go for the inheritance. If you want to do the overriding, you can go with the inheritance. Means simplest. Let's take an example. You have a class, particular class A. You have written 1,000 lines of code here, and again you are writing class B. In a class B, you want to reuse the same method of class A. So how you can use? You can use by inheritance. Okay, so there are number of types of inheritance: single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance. Okay, so this all the things we will cover well in detail once we will cover the topic of inheritance. Okay, once inheritance will be done, we will go ahead with the encapsulation. What is encapsulation? What is encapsulation? Encapsulation, if we will define, the encapsulation is a data hiding. Okay, so how you can hide the data? How you can hide the data? Just sir was telling just before. Means by making the private. But let's take a practical example. If you will make each and every member of a class as a private, then will it be useful for another class? No, because the private cannot be accessed outside the class. Okay, so that is why we use the setter and getter method apart from the making data, or you can say the variable as a private. Okay, so there we use the setter and getter method. Setter and getter method will be public, and variable will be your private. So you cannot directly access or modify data, but whatever implementation with a particular condition you have met with the setter and getter method, you can use it later on in another class or implemented class. Okay, so what exactly this is and how we can achieve and how we do these things, we'll see in our encapsulation. Okay, so this will cover your hoops concept. Okay, so once hoops concept will be over, we'll move ahead with the keywords in Java. Okay, so there are some certain keywords are given. Okay, so the keywords have a specific properties inside it. So how these are the useful and how we can use, we'll see one by one. Okay, so first is your static. So what is static? Static is just a keyword, but why and how it is used in Java? when you say static used for the memory management. Let's take a simple example. Okay, so here we are in a tech body. Okay, so our name is different. We belongs to different state or different city. But one thing is common. We belongs to tech. Okay, so this time it will make variable institute name as a simple, means without static. If we use the static without static, so it will assign memory again and again. Means if in a tech body there is 100 students, so it will assign 100 times memory. Okay, but it will define simple static keyword in front of that particular institute name. Okay, so it will assign memory only once. Okay, same way you can use static keyword in front of method, in front of block, in front of class. So what exactly this means? Means exactly this will save the memory, but how it will save the memory? What exactly happens on the behind the scene? This we'll see in our static keyword topic. Okay. Once static will be done, we'll move ahead with this keyword. What is this keyword? If you want to refer the current class members, means current class members can be your constructor, method, your variable. So how you can access one members into the another. Okay, how can you call one method into the another? How you call one constructor into another? You can done by this key. Okay, again this can be used with variable, method, constructor. Okay, so we'll go in detail how we can use this. Okay, once that will be done, we'll move ahead with the super keyword. When you say super, it is again name specify its property super class. If you want to access the super class objects, or you can say members, if you want to use the super class variable, super class constructor, or super class method, so that time you can use super. So again, we'll do these things in a practical manner. Okay, once that will be done, we'll move ahead with the final keyword. What is the meaning of final keyword? Simple. Final means things are final. You cannot be changed. Again, final can be used with a variable, with a method, with a class as well. Again, when you say the final, it's the final. Means you cannot change it. But in a different things, different terms used. When you say the method cannot override. When you say the class cannot be inherited. When you say the variable can be changed. Again, this will we will cover these things into the final. Okay, once final keyword will be done, we will move ahead with the exception handling. What is exception and why we need exception handling? What is exception? Simple exception. You can say error. Means if you are writing a program, simple means exception. If you do programming wise, exception and error are different. Okay, but just to know the things, just to clear the concept. Okay, if you are writing a program, if you have a particular exception at line number 5, let's take a simple example. You are dividing number by 0. Okay, so that Java cannot handle. So your program will be interrupted at line number 5. Okay, so what about the line number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? You want to exit that things as well. So you can go by exception handling. How you can do this thing? By try, catch, finally, throws keyword. Okay, again we'll see this thing again. Exception also have a category: checked exception and unchecked exception. Checked exception are called as a compile time exception. Unchecked exception are called as a runtime exception. So why they have called these things and how exactly things are done in a practical manner, we'll see in a detail once we'll cover the topic of exception. Okay, once these things will be done, we'll move ahead with the topic collection. Okay, so what is collection? What is collection? In a simple term, not in terms of Java, what is collection? Group of things. Group of things are called a collection. Here, if you will go into the this programming terms, group of objects. Okay, you have a group of objects and you want to face the things. So how can you use? You can use the collection. You can say we have a for each loop as well. Okay, but collection have a, or you can say to store the data or to manipulate the data, we have array as well. Okay, but certain benefits collection have over particular array. Means collection can grow and shrink as per their requirement. In an array, only same data type value can be stored, but in collection, different data types value can be stored. So these are the practical means benefit collection have over your array. Okay, if you'll go in a collection will be a big topic because it has an interface have a class, and class have a methods. Okay, and methods again different methods are there. If we go in an interface, there are basically three interface: list, set, and map. Again, inside the list, there is array list, linked list, and vector. If we'll go into the set, has set, linked has set, and tree set. Again, if you go into the map, has map, linked has map, tree map. And again, there are iterator and there are number of methods which will cover into this collection topic. Okay, so this will be summarize our course. Okay, so you guys have any doubt till now? Guys, those who are online have any doubt inside till now? Or should I move ahead? Okay, so I'm assuming you have no doubt. If you have, we will cover after this link. Okay, so you can. Okay, so once the Java will be over, core Java will be over, we'll move ahead with the Selenium. Okay, again inside the Selenium, we'll move ahead with the Selenium WebDriver. Okay, if we'll go in the Selenium have a four, means Selenium is a suite, not a single tool. Okay, Selenium is a suite that has a Selenium ID, Selenium RC, Selenium Grid. In a first class, I will explain what are they and why they have implemented different tools. Okay, but just for now, we'll move ahead with the Selenium WebDriver. So what exactly we'll do in our first class after theory, we'll just invoke the browser, because if you want to do the automation of particular web. Okay, so first thing what you have to do, you have to be invoke the browser. The browser can be your Chrome browser, Firefox browser, IE browser, or Edge browser. Okay, so how you can invoke the browser means all three browser. How we can invoke IE, Chrome, and Firefox. We'll see in the first class. If you have a Windows 10, there is a support for the Edge as well. So if you have a Windows 10, we'll see that as well. Okay, in our first class, we'll see this. Once that will be over, we'll move ahead with the browser command, like how you can put the URL driver.get. Simple command means how you can open the particular Facebook URL. How you can take particular title, how you can a particular take the current URL, whatever URL you have posted there into the browser, if it has been corrected, posted or not. That all things cover into the browser command. How you can close the browser, how you can open all the open browser or tabs. That will cover into our browser command. Okay, once browser command will be over, we'll move ahead with the navigation command. What are the navigation command? If you want to go back from a page, if you want to go forward, if you want to refresh particular page, you can do by a navigation command. Okay, once navigation command will be over, we'll move ahead with the locator. So there are 8 types of locator: ID, name, class name, tag name, link text, partial link text, CSS selector, and XPath. Okay, if we'll go into the first 6, these are the very easy. You just have to be inspect. You can see the ID. Just if this is unique, you can use in your scripting. Okay, but I will tell you the things as well, practical manner. But if you go in a detail, so these are the topics: CSS selector and XPath. This will be covered in detail, because if you go into the XPath or CSS selector, there are certain methods: contains, start, tags. Means sometime it can be happen. Some of the properties are changing randomly. Okay, only starts keyword are the constant and other things are changing, or middle keyword is pending, means is constant and other things are changing. Okay, so how you can locate that time element? So through that you can achieve by XPath. Okay, there are certain methods. Again, means that can be happen. Means let's take a simple example. Means you want to log in into the Facebook application. Okay, you have a username, you have a password, and a sign in button. Okay, so to put your username into the input box of username, you have to be locate this. Okay, and to click onto the sign in button or put your password into the password box, you have to be located. But let's take a simple example. Inside the password box, there is no property are capable to find out that password input box independently. Then how you can will you stop your automation? No. So XPath provides the way XPath access. So you can locate password input box on the basis of username input box, or you can say sign in button input box. So there are certain methods like following, preceding, following sibling, preceding siblings, childs, parents. Okay, self. This will cover into our XPath access topic. Okay, so once you will be means comfortable to locate your element. Okay, means till this class you will be able to uh, open a browser, you will be open a browser, open a URL and locate element. Okay, so once this will be over, we'll see how we can do the different, means how we can work on a different element which is inside our web page. So inside the web page, what can be the things inside the web page? Input box, check box, radio button, okay, drop down, multiple selects, alerts can be there. Switch to means once you are clicking on a particular button, new window is opening or new tab is opening. Okay, that can be happened. Okay, keyboard and mouse operation means let's take a simple example of your Flipkart website. If you want to go into the particular clothes and you can say the child cloth, so you have to be over that particular mouse there. Okay, so this comes under the keyboard and mouse operation. Okay, so again there are different things and different condition occurs when we work on a particular element. So this all the things we will cover once we will cover this input box, checkbox, how to do the things on an input box, checkbox, drop down, alerts, and the all the things. Okay, so once this will be covered, we'll again move ahead with the weights. Okay, weights means sometimes your script, your web or your net connection can be so slow. So you have to be provide particular ways so that your script is not failing. Even sometimes you have your website have a load. Even then your automation script should work. So different type of weight means implicit and explicit weight are there. So how we put the weight will cover into the weights topic. Okay, how to capture a screenshot means once you define particular your framework, you want to showcase why our test case is failed. Exactly, it is a, functional mistake or it is a automation mistake. So you want to capture a screenshot and you want to means like if you do particular manual execution of particular test cases, you capture a screenshot manually and show it to your developer or you put it under the bug. Okay, so same thing how you can capture a screenshot programmatically in a Selenium. So we'll cover that. Okay, once we that will cover, we'll move ahead with the JavaScript executor. What is JavaScript executor? Means simple things means there are certain means in a program means in a browser. What language exactly you use for to make this browser? JavaScript. So the things which you are covering, like in how you are handling the input box, how you are handling the check box, radio button, this can be covered by JavaScript executor. Okay, and there are certain methods like you want to scroll page vertically, means you want to down on a particular page. Okay, so how you can go? You can go by the JavaScript. So this type of specific method also can be done by JavaScript. So what is JavaScript executor? What are the different method inside it? How we can do this? We'll cover into the JavaScript executor. Okay. Once that will be done, we'll move ahead with the Excel handling. Excel handling means how we can read the data from the Excel, how we can write the data into the Excel. Okay, that can be a Excel file. Excel file can be XLSX type or XLS type. Both the things we'll cover in our Excel library. Once that will be done, we'll move ahead with the reports. how we can create the report, how many it means if you have 10 test cases in your particular suit, how many test cases are passing, how many test cases are failing, that you can cover by your reports. So how you can do that things, we'll go ahead with the reports itself. Okay, once that will be cover, we will ahead with the POM concept. Means here I will cover theory only, POM concept here. Once we will cover the framework design. Okay, that time we will cover the POM. What POM? Page object model. Okay, what is exactly it says? You should keep things different, logical part and identification part. Let's take a simplest example. Means you have a 10 test cases, okay, and for to writing each of the test cases you are capturing id of particular input box. Okay, so you are using that, means in a simple manner you are writing the particular id 10 or 20 times, maybe 10 times, maybe 20 times, while automating your scripts. Okay, and later stage or in a later sprint, if developer will change that particular id, you have to change in particular 10 place or 20 place. When you have a 500 or 1000 test cases, you have to be changed in the 1000 or 2000 times. So this will take your whole day. So to avoid that, we use the POM concept, page object model concept. So how we can use it, we'll cover once we'll go, move ahead on our particular framework. Okay. So till the time it's clear to you, or you guys have any doubt? No? Okay. So
Hello.
yeah. Tell me.
Sir, I have one doubt.
Mhm.
I just want to ask one thing. There are different languages, programming languages, but why we use only Java? Means,
No, no, no. It's not. We only use the Java. Means this is not the thing we use Java. Actually, what happens? This will be decided by your lead, automation lead, or your development lead. Means
no, how Java differ from different other languages, programming
Java
languages?
is not different. Means Java have its own concept. C sharp
Okay.
means if you'll go into the oops are the same for the C sharp and the particular Java language. But there is some syntax different, there is a minor difference. Okay, that can be done. So whatever language you are comfortable with, you can use with your Selenium. Okay, but again, this does not means you are comfortable with Java, so you can use it Java. Means again, if your development is happening on .NET or C sharp language, you have to be done your programming or your automation in .NET only. Why? Because at the end, when the test cases will run, it should be integrated. Means Java and C Sharp both cannot be integrated. Eclipse and Visual Studio cannot be integrated. But Eclipse, this Java and a developer has also done their programming, so that can be integrated. Once means how actually practically things happening, how you want to implement your automation. Once developer will change their push, means once developer will change their particular push, means they have done some changes and push. So you want to run all your automations. Means that is the regression testing is all about. Means with new changes, your previous functionality should not break. This is regression testing, right? So means how you can achieve this in automatic way, by this way. So that for that programming languages or sorry tools are used. But to achieve this, so you have to be use the same languages as your developer is using in your particular development framework. Okay, if it is a completely different things, means there is no dependency between developers and particular tester point of view. You want to keep the things independently. You can use C sharp as well. You can use the Python as well. You can use the Java. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay. So I was covering the framework topic. Okay. So what is framework exactly? What is framework? Exactly, if you want to define the framework, framework is nothing but your own sets of rules. आप आपके खुद के रूल बनाते हो, किस लिए बनाते हो आपके रूल्स? टू मेक योर स्क्रिप्ट रीडेबल, रनेबल, इजी टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड मेंटेनेबल. मतलब ऐसी कुछ स्क्रिप्ट होना चाहिए जो आसानी से समझ में आए, आसानी से लिख पा. It's not like that way. Means if you are covering means ma'am is writing their script, so only ma'am can understand. Means other members of a team also should be able to understand the thing, And second thing, it should be maintainable. It means I just give an example. Means you are changing the ID, so there should not be the case you are changing the ID for a single element change. You are changing your ID 1,000 times or 2,000 times. Means you have written the 500 cases and now you are taking full day just due to the smallest change have done by a developer. So you are taking whole day to maintain your script. Okay, so that script should be a maintainable. Okay, so how you can achieve this all the things through your framework. So framework definition wise, framework is nothing but your own sets of rules which makes your script readable, runnable, easy to understand and maintain. Okay, so to achieve this, we have a TestNG framework. TestNG covers this test next generation. Okay, so there are certain annotations provided by TestNG. Means if you want to run particular things in a particular order, if you want to make the test cases dependable, means only once login will be done, other things will should happen. Okay, so this all the things you can means you want to make your scripts as a data driven. Data driven. What does it mean by data driven? Means same test cases will should run with the different data. So there are certain annotations provided by TestNG which we will cover in our test NG frameworks. Okay, so once test NG will be covered, we'll move at the data driven framework. What we exactly will do in data driven framework, we'll read the data from the Excel file, we'll put our init script and our script will run. And later stage, we'll just change the things in our Excel file and all our scripts will should run with particular that data. Means there is no need to change in your particular script. You will just change in your Excel file. Okay. Once that will be done, we will move ahead with the BDD framework. So what is BDD? Have you listened the term TDD? TDD? BDD? No. Means actually BDD is extension of TDD. What is TDD? Test driven development. So actually when developer do their development, so most of the place they should use the TDD approach. What TDD approach means? They should first write their unit test cases, okay, and then they should write the function. Okay, so means once that particular function will be run or that particular test case will pass, only then the developer can move ahead to implement that particular its functionality. So that is TDD. What is BDD? Behavior driven learning. Just extension of TDD. What exactly it fulfills the gaps between your developer or sorry automation developer and other members of a team. Means simple example in your team there can be a manual tester, your management team, your client, your BA. Okay, so we should write our automation test cases in a such a way so that can be understandable by other members of team as well. So how we can do that thing? Do means is this a practical scenario? Everyone in a team should know the automation, Java, Selenium. Yeah, this is not a practical scenario. Why client will know Java or particular Selenium, or why BA should know the Java or Selenium? Okay, so how we can bridge that gap? By common language. What is our common language? English. Okay, so we in BDD we write our particular test cases in a feature file. There is a feature file concept. Okay, in a Cucumber. Okay, so how we write simple English? There are a certain keyword given, when, and then. Okay, so you write your simple test cases into particular this feature file in a simple English language, so that can be understandable by other members of a team as well. Okay, and then in a background you run that particular feature file through your test runner classes. So your test runner class will convert it particular things into your Selenium language, means in Selenium or your code. Okay, and then inside also you write your own script, your own implementation. Okay, so that is covered into the BDD framework. So how we can create the feature file, how we run that particular feature file through the test runner class, and after that how we can combine the things into the steplet. Okay, this will cover into our BDD framework. Okay, so this will summarize your particular Selenium part. Okay, so till the time you guys have any doubt.
No, sir.
No? Okay. So once Java and Selenium will over, we'll move ahead with our tools topic. So here we will cover mainly the Maven, Jenkins, and Git. Okay. So what is Maven?
Maven, Jenkins, IT,
Git. Okay. So what is Maven? Maven is your build automation tool. Build automation tools means all the things which should be capable to run your Java project. Means I'm giving example in terms of Java project because we will learn the Java. So means your project should be compatible with other projects. So for that particular thing, you will require particular jar file, tar file. So who is going to provide your build automation kit? But your question is, wait, this is the development task. How it is useful for the Maven means our tester or automation tester. Okay, so when you create the Maven, so there is a call form file. That is not page object model. There is a separate form.xml file. So inside form.xml file, you can define the version. Okay, what the version means when you write your program in a Selenium, you have to be add certain jar files into the thing. So how it is useful, Maven useful in for automation development perspective. Simplest example means I'm a lead. Suppose let's say an example. I'm a lead of your team. I have given some task to you. I have given some task to you, and I have given some task to the people who are online. Okay, so they have started writing the things. Okay, but what they have done means ma'am is ma'am have downloaded different jar different version of jar. Okay, sir have downloaded different version of jar, and the people who are online also have downloaded the different version of jar. Okay, so independently the things are working. Okay, but when I will combine the things, it might be the case particular jar version is not compatible with your jar. Okay, so how I can avoid this particular thing? So to avoid that thing, the thing we use the Maven. Inside the Maven there is a dependency. So in a background it will automatically download particular things. So that ready-made structure with a Maven project I can give it to the team who is in my team and they can start the thing. So there will be a no dependency. So use the any kind of jar. So the whatever jar version I have mentioned there, so they will use it and it will be automatically compatible with each other. Okay, so that will be cover into the Maven. Okay, how we can add the Maven project. Okay, once that will be done, we'll move ahead with the Jenkins. What is the Jenkins? What is Jenkins exactly? CI, continuous integration tool. What is the mean of continuous integration tool? Just before I was talking about means once you want to push any particular changes, you want to run all your tests. How you can do the thing, this thing to the continuous integration. You want to run your particular test cases in a particular time means in a whole day you will do the development and once development will be done means once everyone will be at home I want to run my all the test cases midnight 12 or 1 and its report will be shared at so let's suppose 5 a.m. Okay, so once you will log in, first things you will see how many test cases are failed, how many test cases are passed, and if they are passed or failed, is it a automation issue or a functional issue? You will be known even before you are starting your work. Okay, so but how you can do this particular thing? You can do by your CI tool that is your Jenkins. Okay, so how we can trigger particular things at a particular time through the cron pattern? I'll tell you. Okay, once that will be done, we will move ahead with the Git. What is Git? Why we use the Git? Git is a version control system. Version control system means if in a particular team different people are working, how they will share the code. How they will share the code. Is it a practical scenario? Means ma'am has written some particular code and she is copying their code and pasting via mail and giving to you. It's not a practical scenario. Why? Because it might be happen because you are working on a same file and ma'am are working on a same file as well. So in this case, what can be happened? Means either ma'am changes will be gone or your changes will be gone. Okay, that can be a scenario. Means for a particular changes, your all code is failing. Means now some blunder has happened with some particular changes and now nothing is working. So you want to go in a previous version. So how you can go through the Git. So how you can pull the code from the particular repository. Okay, how you can push your code. Okay, how you can clone the things. These all the things done by a command. So I'll tell you in a Git. Okay, till here you guys have any doubt? No? Okay, once this will be done, we'll cover our last topic, API automation. Okay, so some who are experienced might know. Again, API have a REST API and a SOAP API. Okay, so here we'll cover the REST API. Okay, so I'll tell you about the manual way of doing API testing as well as automation way of doing API. Okay, so how we can, if we want to do the manual, we can do by the Postman. So there are certain methods, get, post, put, delete. Okay, so how we can do the API automation through the Postman, I'll tell you, and also I'll tell you how we can automate our means same method, get, put, post through the REST assured. Okay, so we'll write the program for that as well. Okay, so this will contain a particular holds. Okay, okay. Means if you have any doubt, you can ask me here. How we are cover, how much time it will take. Okay. So if you want to ask how much time it will take, so I'm just giving answer. I will not give you the specific time. This will be depend of your competency of your particular batch. Sometime it takes the 2 months, sometime it can take a 3 months. But I'll give you a guarantee means it will cover full courses. Okay, means
Yes,
my yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Whatever framework you train, actual class, what practically we are
Means
writing it.
whatever things I told you, at least I'm not saying the 2, 3 or 4, but at least one program will be there for the particular topic. All the things will be covered practically.
So you mean to say form BDD we cover all framework?
All framework means simple how you can create the feature file. Two things means
Yes.
in a framework BDD how you can create the feature file, how you can convert that feature file into particular that step dev, and inside the step dev how can you write the Selenium code, and second things how you can make same BDD script into the data driven framework. Means how you can means in a same way BDD you can do the data driven testing. Through BDD also you can run your script number of times with a different data. So these two things I will cover into our BDD frame.
Okay. And what's the total duration of our
Yeah, just
test?
I told you. I cannot give you. It's just take a 2 months to between 3 months. Okay. If all are compatible, all are good students in my class who is executing all our program in a time, it will cover into the even before the 2 months as well. But this is not practical. But even one person is lagging behind, I have to be cover the things on his personal laptop as well. So this can take time.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Any other doubt, guys? No? No? Okay. Okay then. See you guys. Bye. Okay. You can wait for some time. Okay. I'll leave. Fair enough.